20 years ago, Hurricane Katrina carved a path of destruction across the United States Gulf Coast. While the flooding of New Orleans dominates the collective memory, the same storm set in motion a quieter, slow-motion disaster that now threatens to erase an Alabama barrier island. This is the story of Dauphin Island and its fight to stay on the map. On August 29, 2005, Katrina's most intense quadrant swept across the island, even though the storm's eye was nearly 100 miles away. A surge powerful enough to split the narrow west end left a gap more than 1 mile wide. More than 300 homes were destroyed, and vast stretches of sand were stripped from the southern shore and shoved landward, effectively sliding the island toward the mainland. The breach never truly healed. Each subsequent storm has widened scars and carried away more sand, while rising seas nibble at what remains. NOAA gauges show local sea level climbing at a pace of roughly 1.45 feet per century, an acceleration that has quickened since 2010. For the island's roughly 2,000 residents, the threat isn't theoretical. Some still pay property taxes on lots that now sit underwater. Mayor Jeff Collier counts about 50 such underwater lots in one neighborhood alone. Many surviving houses, perched on stilts, now have their foundations standing directly in the Gulf, yet some are still rented to vacationers. The community refuses to surrender. Using settlement money from the Deepwater Horizon spill, a recent project on the more stable East End managed to push Gulf waters back as much as 400 feet. Along the lone causeway that links Dauphin Island to the mainland and serves as its evacuation route, another major effort is underway. Phase 1 of the Dauphin Island Causeway Shoreline Restoration Project wrapped up in September 2024 with segmented breakwaters guarding a 3.5-mile stretch. Phase 2, launched in March 2025, is using dredged material from the Mobile Harbor Deepening and Widening Project to create roughly 80 acres of new marsh, adding an extra buffer for both the road and surrounding wetlands. The bigger battle is on the ravaged West End. A $60 million beach restoration plan is on the drawing board, but paying for it is daunting. Hopes dimmed in April 2025 when FEMA ended the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program, a key source of federal money for projects like this. Legal and legislative challenges are in motion. Yet, as the mayor puts it, the town is in limbo, waiting to see if any federal help will materialize. Why does Dauphin Island matter beyond its zip code? Barrier islands are the mainland's first line of defense, absorbing storm surge that would otherwise slam into coastal cities and the busy port of Mobile. They're also vital habitat, especially for migratory birds that depend on these slivers of sand for rest and refuge. The struggle here previews the choices many coastal communities will face as seas rise and storms intensify. Rebuild, retreat, or invent new ways to hold the water back. 20 years after Katrina, the storm's legacy on Dauphin Island isn't history. It's an unfolding battle for survival, fought grain of sand by grain of sand.